Stevenson High School will be up first, and she is standing 6th now after 8 dives. 3 more to come here. She'll do a forward 1 somersault with a twist.
She was out a little bit far from the board. We'd like her to be real close, a lot closer to the board.
3s and 3 1/2 up to 4 1/2 for Benetti. Now here is Laura Benetti from Hoffman Estates High School, a senior. Stands 4th after 8 dives. Back somersault, half a twist.
That was a good, a real good entry. She was a lot closer to the board and a lot better height on that dive.
Generally 5s for Benedetti, and here is Amelia Tate, senior at Lake Forest. Amelia 11th out of the 12 here.
A real nice a nice double. A lot of girls have this in their program. It's not that difficult to do.
4 1/2 to 6s, a wide range. And next up, Katie Dintelman from Westland High. She's a senior, a back 1 1/2 somersault with a half twist. Katie is 5th in the competition to this point.
That's a pretty difficult dive, and she looked like she needed to take it a little bit deeper. She tried to save it, and that's why we had that extra splash there at the end.
5 1/2 and 6s for Katie Dintelman.
Yeah, those are good scores. Remember, the top score and the lower score is dropped out.
And the rest are average. Here's Amanda Cruz from Champaign Central. Amanda, 17-year-old senior, finished 4th a year ago, 7th the year before that. Very experienced diver. An inward 1 1/2. 2.4 degrees.
Very strong diver. And real nice entry there.
5 1/2 and 6 1/2 from the judges for Amanda Cruz. Next up, you're looking at Becky Schmitz from Barrington. Becky, also a senior, will do a reverse dive pike, a 1.8 degree of difficulty. She finished 8th here a year ago.
This is one of the required dives they're expected to do at one of the last 3 dives. They have 2 optionals, 1 required. That's why the difficulty was low here. Her more difficult dives are coming up.
5 1/2 and 6s for Becky. Next, Andrea Flo from Rockford Guilford, a senior. Andrea, 7th place finisher a year ago. Andrea Flo. A forward dive with a half twist.
Twist there. Over a little bit. Looks like she lost control a little bit on the dive.
4 1/2 to 5. Generally for Andrea. And the encouragement for Deanne Shedd from Fremd High, a junior. Deanne to do a forward 1 1/2 with a twist. 1.8. She is 12.
A little hop at the end there.
4, 3, 1/2.
You hear the judges' scores, 3 1/2 to 4 1/2 for Deanne Shedd. Next is Reed Evans. And Reed Evans one of the top finishers here a year ago. 2.6 degree of difficulty here, and she didn't catch it.
A little short on the dive. She looked very confident when she was doing her approach. Then she twisted and just didn't come out at the right time. It looked a little short.
Let's take a look at a replay as Reed Evans goes into this 2.6.
Almost ran on the at the beginning there, and that made her a little bit short.
Here is Erin Murphy from New Trier. Erin stands 9th.
Looked strong on that one.
4, 3 and 1/2, 5, 4 and 1/2.
3.5 to 5 for Erin Murphy and Maureen O'Brien from Springfield. She is a junior, a reverse dive pike, 1.8. She is 10th in the competition now.
Nice job on that. She was working on that dive in warm-ups, I noticed, and it looked like she was having some difficulty with it, but she's coming out smiling there. She loves the camera.
High mom right there, 4.5 to 5 for Maureen. And here is the leader after 8 dives, Liz Olsen, finished third a year ago. She is from Barrington, a 16-year-old junior, a back 1.5 somersault with 1.5 twist.
Very nice dive. I thought she had a lot of rocking at the beginning, and sometimes judges take off for that rocking.
6s and 5.5 for Liz Olsen.
52.23, and 1 somersault, 1 1/2 twist.
And once again, we'll see Nicole Vanderbeck from Stevenson. This time with a back somersault, 1.5 twist, 2.3 degree of difficulty. And as you know, you multiply the judges' scores by degree of difficulty, and that gives you your point total, and it all gets added up and averaged out. Nicole Vanderbeck.
Nice. Good twister. Nice twisting dive. She looked a lot more confident on that dive than she did in her first dive. Remember when she was way out towards the shallow end of the pool.
5 5s and 5 O's with a 4 and a 3.5 thrown in. And here is Laura Benedetti. Her second dive here in the final round from Hoffman Estates, a back somersault, 2.5 twist. Laura is fourth.
Did a nice twisting above the water there. I didn't get to check out her entry very well from my angle, but she has some good scores there. And a real difficult dive.
From 3s to 5.5. Here is Amelia Tate from Lake Forest. Her second dive in the final round. Amelia Tate standing 11th. Forward 1.5 somersault with a twist, 2.2 degree of difficulty.
A little short on her entry as well there. Ideally, we'd like to see it a little more vertical. You can see that she gets her head in, but her legs still haven't come up yet.
3s and 4s for Amelia Tate. Katie Dintelman next from Westland. Katie a forward 2.5. Somersault 2.4 degree of difficulty. Katie is 5th in the competition.
See, her coach is real happy with that dive.
4s, 4.5s, and 5s. Katie liked it.
Yeah, Katie did like it. Some nice height in the tuck, could be a little bit stronger there, and then a kick out. Nice, nice. Got to get her hands down a little quicker.
Amanda Cruz now in second place with a back somersault. Very tough dive, very high degree of difficulty.
Amanda is diving real well. She's strong and compact and able to get that dive in the water real well.
Decent scores, 5s and 5.5s from the judges. Becky Schmitz now from Barrington, 8th place. Reverse 1.5. Tuck.
So you can see how she kicked it, went over a little bit on the dive. Real confident on the takeoff, and looked like she was under control, and then on the entry she just went over a little bit. Nice dive.
Range from 4 to 5.5 for Becky Schmitz. Here's Andrea Flo now from Rockford, Guilford. 7th place going into the final round. Forward 1.5 with a twist.
Rockford always has some real strong divers, and Andrea did a nice job with that dive.
5s and 5.5. 5.5, we should say, for Andrea. Next, Deanne Shed from Friend. Back 1.5 somersault. 2.2 degree of difficulty, Deanne Shed. 12th here, trying to move it up.
Nice. That looked a lot stronger than her first dive. Looked a little more confident on that dive.
And here we look at
Lifts
it
her
again.
hands up, grabs her legs, and kicks out. She wasn't as close to the board as she looked there. She was a good foot.
Here is Reed Evans. Second place. Standing third now.
That was a real nice dive. She was able to get some real good height, touched her toes, and able to get it in the water. Pretty well controlled, and the scores were reflecting that.
Generally in the 5 range for Reed Evans. And here is Erin Murphy in 9th place from New Trier. A reverse 1.5, 2.3 degree of difficulty.
Erin thinks this is her toughest dive, and she had it real nice under control. Some of the people in the balcony thought she was a little close to the board, but it's not as close as people think. You get a bad perspective from sitting up here, and you could tell she kicked out real strong. Just had to get those legs together a little bit more.
Good marks, 5s and 6s, and a 6.5. Maureen O'Brien from Springfield, the junior. Reverse 1.5. Hike 2.5 degree of difficulty for Maureen. Well, 3s and 3.5. Maureen knew she missed that, and she has another good word for us. Now Liz Olsen, the leader, with a back 1.5 somersault, 1.5 twist. Tough dive, 2.5 degree of difficulty. Again, she finished third a year ago. She leads going into the final.
Nice.
Well, you liked it. Fans liked it.
I don't have one of those little cards in my hand.
Well, the judges are giving her decent marks. 5s, 5.5, and 6s, 6.5.
I like the twisting on this. She was real technically real good, and the entry wasn't as strong as it might have been, but I think that might have just sealed up her state championship.
Final round now. Nicole Vanderbeck, Stevenson, forward somersault, 2 twists full, 2.3 degree of difficulty. Nicole is 6th going into these final dives.
Nicole has a tendency to get out there quite a bit away from the board.
Could well be back next year. There's Laura Benedetti. Senior from Hoffman Estates. Stands 4th in final diving order, in final dives rather. Forward 2 somersault, hike 2.3 degree of difficulty.
Pretty deliberate on the approach. When she sped it up and then she twisted, and you could hear that slap, and that was the sole of her feet hitting the water.
3s and 4s to 4.5 for Laura. Here's Amelia Tate from Lake Forest High. Senior in 11th place. Her final dive, a reverse 1/2 twist.
A little delay is taking away from her competition. Concentration, I'm saying.
yeah.
Amelia Tate, 53.11, reverse dive, 1/2 twist, grade 1.8.
Here's Amelia.
Scores. 2-1.5, 4, 3, 3.
3s and 4s for Amelia Tate. Now you see what the concentration is like. You don't realize it until you see it break. And of course,
Yeah.
in this competition, we have seen divers just absolutely blank on that diving board. It is very, very tense. Katie Dintelman, her final dive.
You need 11 dives to get through the competition, and sometimes they do everything, all their good ones early. They don't have much left at the end.
Katie from Olsen High School, senior.
Nice.
Very well done. Katie Dintelman, she's 5th, looking to move it up. A reverse 1.5 somersault pike, 2.5 degree of difficulty. Quite a range there, 3.5 to 5.
Good. Look at the entry here. She was nice above the water, nice pike, and then a little sloppy on the entry.
Here's the
Easy for me to see.
diver in 2nd place, Amanda Cruz, Champaign Central, a back 1.5 full. Her supporters liked it. 6.5 and 7s.
I like Amy's a good little diver. I like the way she dives, and I like the way she seems very focused.
Good scores from Amanda Cruz. Here's Becky Schmitz.
2.3.
.3 degree of difficulty, a front 1 somersault, 2 twists, 4s and 5.5.
4-1.5.
She had a good twist on that. She was able to get a good entry. These girls are pretty relieved. That's their last dive. Some of them of their careers.
Andrea Flo, the senior from Rockford Guilford, a forward 2.5. Tuck, 2.4 degree of difficulty.
Came out a little bit late, but it is a high degree of difficulty dive, a 2.4 dive.
So the final dive for Andrea Flo. Here's Deanne Shedd from Palatine. Deanne back, 1 somersault, 2.5 twist, full. Difficult dive, 2.7 degree of difficulty.
Wow, what a twister she is. She saved the best last. That was a great dive for her.
Getting some decent marks as she endeavors to move up from the 12th spot.
Finally, a smile. Good twisting. Got her hands down. Fairly good entry, looking straight ahead.
Now here's Reed Evans, the highest place finisher from last year. She came in 2nd. 3rd to this point.
She kind of ran to the end of the board there and then stopped and then did her dive.
4, 3, 4, 3.
3s and 4s for Reed Evans. Her final dive. Here's Erin Murphy now from New Trier. Erin in 9th place. Her final dive. And a nice effort by Erin Murphy. A 1.7 degree of difficulty, forward 1.5 pike.
That was her required for the last 3 dives. And she'd done harder ones earlier.
5s, 6s to 6.5 for her.
She's going to move up a little.
Maureen O'Brien from Springfield in 10th place, our next to last diver. Maureen, a forward 2.5 tuck, 2.4 degree of difficulty.
Could have used a little more height there in their entry. Bend at the waist.
And the final diver, her final dive coming up, Liz Olsen in 1st place. Has done well on these final dives. Now needs a good one here to seal it. A front 2.5 tuck, 2.4 degree of difficulty. The final dive.
Let's see if she has enough. I know that,
She knows she didn't like it.
yeah, Amanda Cruz is really charging, too, so it'll be interesting to see.
All right, well, we're going to get the scores totaled up, and we will bring you the final standings in the diving competition, then more swimming. Back to the pool after this. Well, the diving championships couldn't get much closer. A single point separated the first and second finishers. The number one, the gold medalist for 1996, you see Amanda Cruz of Champaign Central. Her score 425.3. Liz Olsen from Barrington leading going into the final three dives, 424.3. Reed Evans, who finished second a year ago, drops to third this year. The senior from Champaign Centennial. Katie Dintelman from Westland was fourth. Fifth was Becky Schmitz from Barrington. Sixth, Laura Benetti from Hoffman Estates. And let's take a look at Amanda's dives here in the finals.
There's her inward 1.5 somersault dive here. Just a real tight, and that's what the judges are looking for. Kept her toes together, good finish right down to the bottom. Here's her back 1 somersault with a 2.5 twist, and she proves again that she's a great twister. And you know what her real strength is.